attendance all across North America in front of almost 6 million air show fans. And now, Sean D, are you with us? In the same year, a few years ago, Sean was inducted into the San Diego Aerospace Museum Hall of Fame that year, along with the members of the United States Navy and Marine Corps Blue Angels. And in 2008, Sean received the highest honor that can be given to an aviator in the United States. That is membership in the National Aviation Hall of Fame in Dayton, Ohio, the birthplace of aviation. Now that Sean's back on the ground, I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of Team Oracle. This is our second time in Chino. It's an absolutely amazing place to come fly. There's so much history here. We hope to be invited back in the future. I'd like to invite you to look us up online at teamoracle.com. And also, please pay a visit to Sean's Facebook fan page. Keep in mind that he spells his first name S-E-A-N, so that would be brace of P-38s taking off right now, heading towards the mountains. We can see the P-63 King Cobra starting up. Okay, the Mustangs are taxiing in front of us now. Like we have P-51Bs being led by P-51B or C. P-51B model was a result of an experiment of putting a Merlin into an Allison engine Mustang to seeing how much better it performed, and actually it performed much better, had better range, better top speed. The main limitation of the P-51B was that it only had 450 calibers and they had to lay on their side in the airfoil, which caused jamming. So the P-51D went to a slightly thicker airfoil in that section and mounted 6, and instead of mounting them on their side, they mounted them straight up, and that cured the jamming problem. Notice how quiet the P-38s are when they fly over. The P-38 exhaust was ducted through a turbo supercharger. So instead of having exhaust stacks like on the P-51s and on the P-63, the exhaust... We even have a Jelly Belly P-51 out there. I don't think those are period correct markings. Exhaust almost sounds like a jet engine when it goes over.
Yes, it does. These two
The
P-38.
Germans had an FW-189 that had the same configuration, but a much slower, and it was a ground attack plane.
P-38 Lightning was developed by Hall Hibbert and Kelly Johnson at Lockheed Burbank back in 1938. And plane first flew in 1939 as a prototype, the XP-38.
Which then crashed as they were attempting to set a record flying from the west coast to the east coast.
Yeah, no fault of the pilot. It was just a situation of carburetor icing and not enough time to deal with it. So after the prototype was done, then they started building the YP-38. They built 13 of those. Those were pre-production airplanes that were very close to what series production was supposed to be. Now, the P-38 originally, they thought they were only going to build about 60 of them.
Okay, one of the P-38s is landing.
SR-71 Blackbird, which was a world records fastest jet. And then after that, after Kelly stepped down from the Skunk Works, they continued on and made the F-117 Nighthawk, which was one of our first real dedicated stealth military aircraft.
Okay, here comes the other P-38.
P.J. Dahl, who flew in the 475th Fighter Group in the South Pacific. We had the pleasure of having P.J. Dahl down here for a P-38 reunion a couple years ago, and boy, he's a kick. He's a funny guy.
P-38s and P-39s were also unique in they had tricycle landing gear at a time when all the other planes around the world were tail draggers.
Yeah, you know, Charlie, it's interesting to note that the original XP-39 of the Aircode was actually had a turbo supercharger. It was also designed as a high-altitude interceptor, but the Army changed plans for that. It turned out they took all the superchargers